I'm trying to hear the essence of your question. So what you experience and the experiencer merge and you lose yourself in the experience, is that what you mean?
Yeah. Next, I know that experiences are happening in I know that experiences are happening in front of me, right? I have that clarity that came. It's just this awareness. And then it was okay for these experiences to be there. It's like someone like one time it would be like, it's always love your experiences as if they're your children. Do not create no resistance. Do not create any, if it's joy, happiness, anger, or sadness, they're just experiences that are happening. And it came clear that it came clear that I was able to see that. But now it's just back into this integration of me still experiencing these things as ego, as personality, right? And that's where I'm having a difficult time trying to remember to keep on staying here.
And who is aware of that resistance?
That I am, it's this I am, like the spaciousness of like this openness.
And this I am, this openness and spaciousness, is it having a problem with this resistance? Who is resisting the resistance? I understand it's a bit annoying, don't get me wrong, Daniel. When we had experiences of just floating as spaciousness and then this old habit of a separate me comes back and we go home maybe and it comes even back with stronger force because lots of old me buttons, triggers gets pushed when you come home. So those experiences of a separate me, like I think you mentioned a separate me getting angry, are you not still there as this spaciousness, as this awareness?
So, yes, I'm here.
The moments, the times when you are not there, so to speak, I understand. You lose yourself in the experience. The experiencer merges with the experience. Not in consciousness, but in this idea of a separate me, so to speak. So you become one out of old habit with this separate self. And that is quite painful. In the past, it was actually not so painful, maybe, because it was just normal. But now you know, unfortunately, you cannot unknow what you know. And falling back apparently into this separation becomes very unpleasant. It's built in the game plan here in this hide and seek game that once you kind of get it, you don't want to play anymore to be a separate self. It becomes really annoying. And that's where the understanding becomes so crucial. The times where you were free of this sense of separation, you didn't do anything. You were just it, right? And then this old habit of doing, of thinking, feeling on behalf of this old me creeps in. And this pain this resistance. It's like the calling from your being. Are you with me? It's like the calling from your being, now that it has been revealed, it has shown itself back to itself. This intelligence creates this annoyance or this resistance. But it's still part of the game, so to speak. You are still in the game because, as I asked you, when you return to that which is seeing, to that which is aware of that whole show, you notice that the one that is seeing, the one that is truly experiencing, the one that is experiencing the one who is in resistance, the one that is no one or everyone, that is universal consciousness, is totally fine, is in absolute acceptance with what is happening. That's the great paradox. Here we go. All that is needed, so to speak, is to see that clearly now, that the one that is annoyed, the one that is resisting, is not what you have discovered to be yourself, because that which is aware of that is still here, is still free of that resistance. Now, in the moment, very possibly, that's how it sounds, how you describe it, you forgot that, right? You kind of merged with that separate self. And what is important here to understand, that happens to everyone, by the way, on the way. This, why it's so sticky, so tricky, right? This belief that I am this body mind, it comes back, the habit, and there will be moments, and you have to make peace with them, so to speak. You have to make friends with them. There will be always moments where you just have forgotten completely, have completely identified again as this body mind, have completely identified with the thoughts and the feelings and the perceptions on behalf of me as a body, me as a separate body, me as a separate mind. And in those moments, you cannot do anything because you are not aware of what is happening. You are one with the experience, as to say, with the experience of being a separate self. But there comes a moment where you remember, where you recognize what happened. That might be a minute or an hour or a day. It doesn't matter. The moment you recognize what happened, you see that you have fallen for that old game, for that old habit, you smile at yourself and you're like, ah bon, here we go. There I have forgotten. There I have fallen back into ignorance. And I say you smile, but as I explained, it's also built in the game that you kind of want to be annoyed a bit about yourself. So you have kind of the drive to not forget, to have the drive to remember, which brings you here to satsang tonight. If that would be not built in, so to speak, into the game, then you would just now surrender completely to your ignorance. So it's fine. It's all very smart. Even this ignorance is very smart. It's all very beautiful in a way. So when you see, like now clearly again, what is happening, it's like, oh, I was thinking, feeling, perceiving on behalf of this separate self, which doesn't mean, and I hopefully that is clear, that experiencing human experiences, human experience in any form is not ignorance, right? Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
That experience does not become something other than this loving awareness, what I call loving awareness, this I am.
Yeah, like it's just like you said, you got to make friends with everything that comes, and this is where I find that I'm having a little bit of resistance because there's a lot of times, yes, I invite them, I invite everything in, and then when I got back, you just lose yourself in it. And I understand what you're saying. It's just, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Just let it be and let it let it do what it wants. Let it play within your experience as if it's a child playing.
So the trick is not to try to want to welcome it, not to try to do anything with the one that is in resistance. not even to try to be friends with it, because that creates again this idea of me as a separate self doing something. The trick is the understanding of what you are. This I am. Is it ever in resistance with your human experience?
It's just is. It's always is. Like, it always just is.
And is this ever in resistance with your experience?
Like I said, some days it's very clear, and then other days it's not so much. Like I said, like this past couple of days, I know that it's always in the background. It's always here. You can't unsee it. It's always here. It's always you. There's no distance from me to you. That it's always here. There's no separation. But it just like right now I just keep on. I don't know if I'm being lazy, but it just keeps on wanting, or I keep. I don't know if it's the resistance. I'm just trying to keep on. Something's holding on to the experience to keep it continuing, and the resistance to my question and everything is what's making this process even longer. And again, that's why I was like, okay, accept everything that's coming in, because if I don't, sorry, if I shouldn't say if I don't, because that means there's still doing.
Don't worry so much about
Okay,
the right words. It's okay. I think we understand you.
it's just it keeps on creating this loop of continuing of the suffering again.
You
So
see, there is this mixing happening, Daniel. There is this mixing, and this is what is normal, and this is very important to understand. This mixing of the I am with what I call the clown. The clown is the one that is coming after the I am, pretending to be the I am. The separate self. It's so near, it's so close to us. The habit is so strong to mix this consciousness, this awareness, this I am, with package, this package of thoughts, feelings, perceiving that have created this apparent separate self, claiming, that's why it's a clown, to be the true I am. Coming on the stage after the performance of the true I am, of the true me, and claiming the applause or the blame. It doesn't matter. It likes both sides equally as long it can pretend to be the I am. And this mixing is happening. That's why everything that you try to do to stop this mixing is feeding this illusion of a separate self. But if you come back to the understanding and your authentic experience of I am, and look in your own experience, not as a philosophy, not like in concepts, but in your own experience, like now, the I am, our shared being, is very present. Do you find, as I asked you, resistance in it? Do you find hurry in it? Like it's not, you said something, it's taking too much time, or I'm not fast enough, or all of that. Is that on behalf of this I am, this hurry, this resistance, this non-satisfaction? Who is speaking, so to speak? Is it the I am, or is it the clown? Is it
The clown.
ignorance? Exactly. Is it ignorance, or is it understanding? Is it truth speaking? And that is the process, in a way, to make this understanding a living understanding in our life. To see clearly, is this thought belonging to the I am or to the clown? And if you can identify and see clearly that it belongs to the clown, you can just drop it. You don't need to do anything to change the clown. You just don't give it applause anymore. You just stop doing something. You just relax back into this understanding that, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this habit of me, Daniel, mixed with my experiences coming up, but who's having a problem with that? And in this way, you nurture yourself, your being, what is true, what is truth. You nurture that which you have discovered and experienced to be your true self. Later will collapse all of this apparent duality of a true self and a false self and the experience and the experiencer, all in due time. But for now, you need real clarity between the screen and the movie, so to speak. The screen screening, awareing your experience, and what I call the avatar, the idea of me as a separate person appearing on the screen. It's natural that this avatar is behaving like a clown when the ignorance comes in. As more the understanding lands, by returning to the understanding, by living it, by nurturing it, the clown features of anger, of disappointment, of annoyance, of resistance, all of those features that belong to the clown will dissolve naturally, lovingly. What is important is that you see it, that you are there, so to speak. And when you are not, you are not. But there is this moment, right, where you come back and you see clearly again, and you return to the understanding.
So I'm just dealing with the turbulence.
Believe me, it's maybe not so popular, but we're here quite open about it in our group. It does maybe not fit the spiritual textbook of enlightenment, discovering, having a glimpse of yourself and forever happy after. It's true in a sense, because that which is aware is forever happy after, but it was already happy before, so to speak. It's of course not in time, you understand. But those turbulences often come even stronger after the recognition. You get shaken up, and these old habits are coming out with force, and they're seen before you were not aware of them. You were just one with this clown. But now there is this awareness that is seeing it. And it's good in this way. You should celebrate that you are aware of the turbulences, because that which is aware of the turbulences is already taking care of them. You don't need to come back in to be someone who is doing something with them. The light of consciousness, when it is there, while it is happening, is the cure for this ignorance, for these turbulences. And they come, and these days they are coming a lot to many of us. It's turbulent times, as I wrote in the group. We are getting shaken up. Our avatars are getting shaken up. We are readjusting, and you are readjusting because you had an authentic glimpse of understanding in Portugal that is trying to find its place now into your life. So don't worry about these turbulences. They are part of the game. And remember that you are the one who is seeing them. You are seeing your avatar being in turbulences. Not the one who is in that washing machine. It's quite natural, you know, this honeymoon of recognition that you had in Portugal, that it kind of fades out a bit, and then it wishes to find its place in your life. And those turbulences are a lot about that, to make that what you are, so to speak, come into your life, into all of your life. And there are those old blockages, old beliefs and feelings that are kind of pretending to be this separate self, and they need to be exposed by you, by consciousness. In a way, it's already game over. But there is this momentum of playing, of keeping playing hide and seek. And see clearly that you are friends with it. You don't need to try to be friends with it. That what you are is friends with it. No further doing required. So in a way, it's like being aware of being aware, knowingly, remembering, and from there, experiencing. Where in the past, I am the experiencer. I, Daniel, the avatar, the separate self, am the experiencer. And I forget this holy silence, this awareness that is in the background. It's somehow not here. Now I have recognized this to be myself. So now I can return to it. And from there, I experience. And in that way, that which is experienced and that which is the true experiencer. Awareness. Being. The one. Integrates, assimilates all the experience back to itself, and the separation cannot sustain itself.